Hello, everybody, and welcome to Facebook Friday over here for Peacecraft Love. And I'm just actually trying to clean up a little bit from my mess I made for my index card a day project that I did. I've been posting those over on Instagram. And I like to post a recap on Fridays, so you can see them here on my Facebook page because I repost everything from Instagram, should share over here onto Facebook. But if you don't see it, you can always jump over to Instagram if you want to. And the good news is that Facebook and Instagram are the same company, so if you have a Facebook account, you can get on Instagram very easily. Good morning to Gina. Thank you for joining me today. So today is Facebook Friday Live, and I wanted to share that about what I wanted to do today is Peacecraft Love is a sponsor of the Mixed Media Menagerie Challenge on Instagram, which means they post, the group that's hosting it is 3 women that are artists, and they post the prompts for the month, and the idea is that you will, I'll show you Instagram really quick. This is so meta. We're looking at a tablet on a phone. Isn't that funny? Okay, so you would find Mixed Media Menagerie on, okay, don't be stupid. Okay, so this is their post, and this is my post, and this is actually just about the code that you can use, but here's the prompts. So they post prompts on their different accounts, and we follow the prompts, and then we create a page in our journal. You can use your art journal. You can use any surface you want. It does not have to be the Dina Wiggly art journal. You take a picture and you post it to Instagram using the tag Mixed Media Menagerie, and you do it by the last Wednesday of the month, which is next Wednesday, the 30th. And then you'll be entered to win a $30 gift card to Peacecraft Love this month, and then also a goodie package, I think, from Laura of ephemera. And so I think they might choose 2 winners, one from the tag for the post, and then one for the ephemera. So one for the gift card, one for the ephemera, I think. They also do YouTube videos, each of them. I know Nicole Watson is one of the artists, and I never remember the other 2, but if you go to Nicole's page, you can find it. And so let me see if I can find Nicole. She's my buddy. Okay, so see, there's Mixed Media Menagerie, and the other 2 artists, well, I'll find them in a minute. But so the idea is to create something using those prompts. Warm colors, pen, salt, and watercolor. I have some salt over here. Let me get it. So what I wanted to do today was actually do the prompts and use the prompts. Of course, I wouldn't be. That's not my salt. Where's my salt? I wouldn't be qualified for the entry into the thing. Where's my salt? But I would still like to do it. Darn, I should have looked for my salt. I might have to run out and get it. I had like a bottle of salt over here because I was doing watercolor with salt. So, and then sunshine is the theme. So warm colors, you know, that means oranges and reds and yellows. And then, which are not my favorite, but that's okay. I like to see it as a challenge and something that I could play with. So I don't exactly know how I'm going to interpret the theme. So that's what's so fun about Facebook Friday, is that we can just all figure it out together. And I really need to find my salt. So, let me run and get some salt. I don't know why. I have like a giant bottle of it, but I can't find it. Y'all are funny. Y'all are going to think I'm crazy. Okay, so here's the thing. Well, maybe I can see if she posted it. Oops. Oop. I like to have it up so I won't forget, because, you know, I'm going to forget what it is. Sunshine, warm colors, salt, right? That's what it is. See, there they are. Laura, Nicole, and Erin. Laura Mixed Media and Erin DeCoste, okay? So those are the 3 people. All right, I'll tag them. I'll figure out a way to post those prompts. All right, I have to go get salt. I'll be right back. Give me 2 minutes. Not even that long. Where the salt went? Where'd the salt go? Okay, I'm back with my gigantic container of salt, which is funny because I just felt like I had it, and I know I had one because I was playing with the idea of watercolor with salt. Because, you know, watercolor does some really cool things if you throw salt on it. And I was really curious if the same thing would happen if I used the distress inks from Tim Holtz that are, people treat them like they are watercolors. So I wanted to see if it kind of did the same thing. But then I have to get this damn thing open. Pardon me while I scrape in this. I could have just grabbed my little shaker, you know. I feel like Margaritaville. Trying to find my shaker salt. Here we go. It's in my head actually now. There's some salt. Okay, so we're going to do salt, sunshine watercolor, sunshine colors, warm colors. And I have some water, kind of yucky water, but that's okay. All right. It's not that I'm not prepared. I just like to create on the fly. Here's my iCAD for the day, which the theme is metal. And my theme for this month is copper. The color for the month is copper. So I was very excited to do something with copper and metal. Okay, red. Grabbing some colors. All right, so here are some warm colors. I've got my Amsterdam Neanderthal red and some yellow ochre, which is kind of a warm yellow. There's different kinds of yellows, right? And then I've got some crackling campfire distress paint, and we've got some stains I can use. I want to try those to see how they work with the watercolor as a watercolor effect, because people use them as watercolor. So I'm like, well, if it's the same thing, basically what salt does is it basically pulls out the moisture, right? So, all right. Has anybody ever seen the video or the thing about the full deck challenge where there's this girl and she's doing, she's decorating cards, and she's doing them like mixed media, like little tiny cards, like index cards, like next card a day is what we're doing now, but those are bigger, but kind of like artist trading cards. These are actually a little bigger than artist trading cards. So I collected all of these from I found these around my craft room last night, and I was thinking I'm going to do something with a deck of cards. And yesterday I was trying to do some tidying up, tending to my room. Okay, I'm thinking, this is what I do when I'm thinking. Okay, got me some this. I'm thinking if I want to do the craft page, it's probably not going to show any watercolor very well. So I have to be careful because watercolor is very finicky. It can be finicky. It also can just be, ooh, what if we did one page white and one page? Yeah, that would be kind of cool. All right. So if you don't remember or you don't know, then I always spray my, I like to spray my watercolor palette with water to get started because it's good if it's nice and wet and juicy. So I'm going to spray my colors. This is my Altenew palette. It's 36 half pans of color. some pretty good colors in there. And of course, you can see I've sprayed it before. Oops. Yeah, when you spray it, it gets wet and it activates. Lovely, lovely. So don't spray your pre-made palette unless you've already fixed it with a fixative of some sort. Okay. Sorry, my table is just... I have a big table, I just don't have a lot of space, which is funny. Okay. So. No. Okay. Let me take a break. Let me take a minute. Okay, breathe. Okay, cool. Okay. So, are you guys gonna do some sort of art too? That would be fun if y'all did it too. Grab some paint, grab some markers, grab anything that you want. The challenge doesn't even have to be paint, you know, watercolors on there, but you know, I'm pretty sure that as long as you follow the prompts loosely, that that you could qualify if you enter by putting your posting your picture. Okay. Ooh, you know what else I need? I'm gonna use acrylic paint. I'm gonna need some I'm gonna need my palette. All right. Grab some of these pieces of deli paper here. So last night I was organizing up my craft room a little bit. It just gotten to a point where I was just kind of felt like things were all over the place. And so when that happens, I like to reorganize things. And so in the process, I found that I had scattered a lot of things around my room. So I put them back where they belonged, which is good. And so now I feel like I can find things a little bit better. Except when I need a clip, but that's okay. Okay, so let's try. My problem is, and I'm still learning about color mixing. I don't color mix very well, so I will tend to just make mud. That's the problem I have. So I'm going to put some water on my page. This is not a special brush. This is a nice brush. Ooh, this is good. Yeah, the mixed media, the paper in this book, I don't really know what it's like as far as watercolor goes, so we'll see. This might not be good watercolor paper. It's kind of sucking up all the water. So the, yeah, this brush is a black velvet brush from, I bought it at Dick Blick. I have some brushes in the store right now that are watercolor and lots of different kinds of brushes. Mostly I have like flat brushes that are good for just mixed media in general, like acrylic and other whatever else. But I should have done this in the top corner so it looks more like a sun, shouldn't I? That's okay. We could do the rays going out from it, right? Really don't know what I'm gonna do. It's just fun to play. Today might be a longer video, just because longer session because I'm playing. And I started playing with watercolor yesterday because it was the prompt on the index card a day mixed media prompt, and I was having so much fun doing watercolor and I didn't want to stop. So today might just be more play with watercolor. I don't know if this is the right, see how the water is just kind of getting sucked into there. Let's see, because if it was not, you could put more colors. You could kind of blend. Oh my gosh, y'all can't even really see what I'm doing. Sorry. There, that's better. All right. The trick too is that with watercolor you have, and if you're going to do the thing with the salt, you have to let it dry. Because the salt, oh yeah, that's what I was saying. The salt sucks out the water. So you get kind of this interesting mottled effect, my understanding. After it dries, you scrape off all the salt. I just don't think this is the ideal paper for this. But that's how you learn things, right? You try it and then you go, oh, that's not really the ideal paper for watercolor, even though I kind of think it's supposed to be, but it doesn't appear to be really liking the water. It just sucks it all up, which is fine, but not what I wanted. I'm sort of just going to the darker colors as I go down the palette. Dina Wakley does have watercolor paper. I actually ordered it all. I actually have some in this shop separately. So, it's cotton watercolor paper, which is what I thought this was, but. And I have watercolor ground, which is sort of like a gesso, but I didn't put it on because, you know, that would have taken extra time and thought. Like, you know, maybe I should have done that. Side. My problem that I have, like I said, I tend to overkill on things and then I end up making mud, and so we don't want that to happen. I don't like gritty things. Isn't that weird? I'm weird. Okay. Let's see what else we can do with warm colors. We've got some, we've got an orange, we've got a yellow. We could do some, I think I have a stencil. Maybe, I don't know if I actually have it. I know I have it in the store. Pardon me while I look through my stencil book for my stencil that I'm thinking about, but I don't think I actually have it. That's okay. I don't have it. That's okay. I don't have it. This looks cool though. I like how this looks. All right. Here's something we can do. How about if I take a piece of paper and I'm trying to think of how I would cut. So that kind of matches that. And then this is trying to be a little more technical than really I ever do anything, but that's okay. Just for fun. How will you ever know if you don't try? That's what my dad always tells me. Ow. You shouldn't do is cut your finger. Especially when you're on a live video. A live Facebook. So I hope the weather wherever you guys are today is fabulous. It's probably hot. It's getting pretty hot here in Houston, Pearland. Almost Houston, Texas. Almost Houston. It's heating up out there. There's a guy out there mowing the grass. He's probably mowing our grass, I don't know. Our garage door broke, so we have to get, well, the opener died pretty much. So we have to get a new opener, and we're waiting for the guy to be able to come and install it. That's fun, because then we have to manually open and close our garage anytime we want to go anywhere. Which, you know, not really fun to do. All right. So the good part is this is 8.5 by 11, so it pretty much matches the thing I'm going to do here. So I'm going to use my gel plate. It's nice and clean because I made some fun washi tape the other day. I'm going to use my gel plate, which is the 3x5. I'm going to use some distress paint, which is acrylic, but it's actually, I know, first world problems. It's actually a water-based paint, so it's interesting, but it's easy to clean up. That's what I'm going to say. It's a little thinner. It's more like a fluid. Acrylic, it's a little easier to clean up than some other paints can be. It's not like oil or anything. It's definitely water based. And this is Crackling Campfire, which is a nice saturated orange color. Obviously, I'm taking this prompt and I am interpreting it like completely literally, which is something I tend to do. So that's one, there's some rays right there. And then I think what we can do is just kind of offset it a little bit. Grab another color. This is just experimenting. I really have no idea if this is gonna work, but we'll just see. This is my Naphthol red. It's very bright. Mix it a little bit with the Crackling Campfire. I guess the good part about using a piece of paper as your stencil is that you can just throw it away when you're done. You don't have to worry about cleaning it up. And I probably should have put gloves on, but that's okay. The real reason I wear gloves is because I have very dry skin and paint just makes my skin super extra dry. So just forgot about it today. You can kind of blend it in if you want to. If you feel like it's not blending enough, go back and blend it a little more. Or don't overdo it. That's always a good thing too. We don't want to overdo it. I don't really put any red in my sun at the bottom. I shy away from red. Red bothers me because I feel like it's too bright, and I'm a very cool colors kind of person, and I have trouble with red. So this challenge is good. This is a good challenge for this month. Okay, now let me try to blow some of the salt off of it. Salt and acrylic paint don't really do anything. Okay, now let's go this direction. And see what happens, especially because we have some red already on the palette. Try not to get it mixed up too much. You can mix a little bit maybe. I'm still learning about my color mixing. That's sort of my goal. It looks like mustard. So when I was in middle school, we had to do this science experiment. We had to do for a standardized test. It was a write we had to do something about viscosity of mustard and ketchup. And we actually got to use mustard and ketchup and play with the viscosity and talk about it and write a little bit of a paper about it. That was like our test. And it was like a standardized test or something, I think. And I always think about that, like the viscosity of mustard and ketchup. I don't really like mustard, but this isn't like a real yellow mustard. This is like a stone ground mustard. Kind of a golden color. Cool. I actually don't like that it's so perfect looking. So let's see if I can do something else to it. All right, let's see if this is dry. It's not, it's still quite wet. I'm also not very good about having white space. I'm not I don't know how to have white space. I don't know what to do with that. I always end up covering up every inch of the paper. I'm trying to just do a spongy look because that way there's a little bit of white coming through. But I figure that most of the time, you know, when you look up at the sun, if you look at the sun, which is probably not the best idea, but if you're looking at the sun, you're not really seeing white. Maybe a little bit. But I like that better. You probably don't see clear red or yellow either, so, you know, it's all just an interpretation. I like that better. Yeah. Much better. Very cool. Now this goes in the trash. Right. Cool, cool. All right. So, what could we do now? Let's look at what else we can do. Because we've got a sun, and we've got some salt, and we've got warm colors. I feel like we've done pretty much everything on the prompts, which is good. We have a wet watercolor palette, which is not good. Unless I was just going to do more watercolor, which I would love to do. Let's see here. I'm going to think for a second and clean some things up. Of course. Thank you, Gina. Reminder to sign and date my work. Of course. Luckily, I have YouTube videos to show pretty much every day, every time that I did anything. So, most of the time. But, it's true. We have to put our names on our stuff as far as our art and our pages and our quilts. It's always important. People don't remember to label their quilts. Well, that one's always a tricky one. Oh, I don't like it. Okay. I have a little dust buster, but it's at the store. It's at my warehouse. All right, let's see if we can maybe gently wipe off some of this. I don't think it's dry yet, though. gonna need a little longer to dry. And I don't know if it's gonna really, I mean, it's kind of mottled. That's kind of the effect we were going for. Just because of the paper, wham with the paper, but you know, true. Apparently using salt is not the best thing to do on a live video because it takes a long time to dry. Note to self. Right. Cool. Well, let's see. So we've got some acrylic that's drying. We've got some salt that's drying. So maybe while those items are drying, we can just switch over and do a little bit of something else for a few minutes. Let's see. So I think I need to do, I think on this side, what I'd like to do is a little bit of collage because it's very plain, and I don't know what else you would do on this side, but I am gonna put gloves on. This is acrylic medium from Liquid X, and this is what I learned about this. This is called fluid matte medium, and there's another jar that's called matte medium that comes in a jar. And I was like, why does it come in a jar? I like having it in the bottle. And I learned something. The matte medium that's in the jar is thicker, and so it's better for thicker application. Like if you're trying to glue something, because really matte medium is very good for gluing. It's good for gluing if you're gluing pages into a book, or you're gluing a three-dimensional element onto a page, or you have some thicker paper that you want to glue down. Like that's kind of what the matte medium, that's the heavier one, is going to be. The gel medium. This is a fluid medium. It's not heavy. So I learned that from looking at it and finally figured out when I read about it. I researched it. I was like, okay, this makes more sense. It's not just a matter of they feel like they don't want to, the industry doesn't want to put it in a bottle for whatever reason. So it's actually because there's a reasoning behind it. It does, matte medium that's thicker is not going to come out of the jar. It's not going to come out of a bottle. It's too thick. I guess it would be more like ketchup, but in general, it'll just be too thick to really come out of the jar. So, or out of the thing, you have to really scoop it. But I have it in the store if anybody wants to get the heavier gel medium. I mean, I see artists and they do all kinds of different things, and they like both of them. They'll use both. Matte usually over gloss, because gloss literally does make things glossy. And I had all gloss medium pretty much in the store before I started learning about it, because again, the store, I bought it from somebody. I took it over and I bought their existing inventory, so I had to learn about these different products. And they had bought gloss medium for all of the stuff they had in the store. So I'm just putting it down on the bottom, and I'm putting it down over the top. And because it's matte, it will very nicely suck up the, what do I want to say? The matte medium will allow you to easily paint over it. You can paint over gloss. I've done it. I don't have any issues with painting over gloss medium. But it literally, it kind of, the matte medium tends to be a little more like a, almost like a gesso, like a primer that you can, that makes it easier to do, to go over it. So I'm just trying to pick some more warmer colors out of my collage stuff that I have here. And I'm kind of, this one's fun because it's a tea bag, You won't be able to see it on the craft, but it might create a neat little texture there. I like using the tea bags when you can actually see them. I also really like to use pattern paper, but given what this just did with that, I don't think I'm going to be able to see it. So I'm going to use some of this. I always like to do something that has a reference to sewing or quilting or anything like that, because that's my background. So I usually like to include some sort of pattern paper, some sort of book paper, and some sort of music paper, because I always loved to read growing up. I always liked to play music. I played the flute for a long time. I'm gonna try this. I don't think it's gonna actually show up, but we'll try it. It might just melt and all we'll see is the blue, which would be interesting. I like pattern papers because they're very bossy. Cut here, fold here, do this, do that. I don't make patterns. I don't make garments, but I like to use pattern papers. I also really like the artwork on pattern papers, on patterns. Let's see. I feel like I had pulled some more warmer color paper last night when I was sorting through my papers. Oh, I have a pile of, oh, here's some music paper. I have a pile of painted papers that I've made. And this is from a, what do I want to say, menu when I went to Italy on my honeymoon with my not husband anymore. But I saved the menu because, well, it had a lion on it. The place we ate was like this really neat old, of course, stone. Is anything in Italy really new? I don't really know. But it was this long stone building. You walk inside, it's this long room, and the menu had a lion on it, and I love lions, and so it was, I saved the menu, and I still have it, and I thought it would be cool because it's sort of a warm color. Always remember to rest. That's important. All right, Gina, to answer your question, you said, am I doing this to create as a companion to the other side? Yes, I'm trying to make them coordinating colors so that it can at least, while this dries, I'm doing something, and then, yeah, I'm trying to use warm colors so that the whole page basically works together. Thank you for asking that. Because otherwise I'm just gluing stuff and it's fun, but I think this one is a piece that I actually printed this with a stencil. That one's one I printed with a stencil too. Gel plate day, they're fun. Yeah, because the craft paper is just kind of a tricky one for knowing what to do as far as art or painting. I've never really worked on craft paper, but I have bought for myself one of the new Dina Weekly craft journals, so I will be working on that a lot, probably doing a lot of collage. But you have to embrace the craft color in the background there a little bit. So cool. So I've got this, I've got my sun. Let's see if the sun feels like it's a little more dry. My guy is right outside my window doing the yard. There's a channel I like to watch, and she's in Australia, and she calls Weed Eater, the whippersnipper. And I think it's so cute. She's like, can you hear the guy outside with the whippersnipper? And I always just laugh because that's so cute. They have such cute words for things in Australia. So. Ooh, I don't like that. Ugh. Don't like that. Don't recommend rubbing your hand over wet salt. It's not fun. Unless you just like being tickled. Cool. So I think I'm going to get some sort of, I'm going to figure out a way to do a quote, like let the sun shine, or something to do with quote, some sort of quote, or maybe like, you know, sometimes you have to make your own sunshine or something like that. And I'll probably add that in later because I'm not very good about remembering focal points, but I'm trying to get better at it. So since this is for the challenge, I want it to be something that looks finished. Honestly, the other girls, Nicole, she did one. Hers has, did it again. Hers has a sun on it too. Everybody, I think, did some sort of interpretation of a sun, but almost. But so there we go for now. I think I'm gonna call this good, so it has to dry, and then we will come back. And sunshine on my shoulders makes me happy. That's a good one. Yeah, there's so many good. I'm just gonna go jump into Pinterest and find a good quote, I think, or something, and see where I can go with this sunshine idea, or maybe something about warmth. You know, I mean, it's because I don't live where it's cold that often, although it was very cold in February. And so I don't really like crave sunshine like some people do, you know. Crave warmth. I do crave warmth. I don't like it to be cold, which is why I live where I live. But I don't like just live on the beach or anything like that either. So all right, well, I think I'm gonna wrap this up, and thank you for joining me today. We will see where this goes. I'll post some pictures if I do a follow-up, and if maybe I'll even do a follow-up next Friday. I can't, it depends on how I feel. I have to post it before Wednesday, so I have to be finished before Wednesday. So you're right, song lyrics are good. I think I'll just have to see what I find online, Gina. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you next week. Oh, and I'm also going to put this on YouTube, so all of it will be up on YouTube by Saturday, tomorrow, just a live replay. But I have a lot of different videos on YouTube about all the different things that I've done so far. 2 every week. So thanks for hanging with me, and I'll see you next Friday, hopefully. Bye-bye.